I love this little thing. Wanted to run through some settings here on the DJI Mini, what I keep my settings at. You can obviously toggle from scene or cine, from normal to sport mode. This is your auto land and home. This is a configurable custom button, and this is the from swap from camera to video. Then you have the gimbal control on the side here, and then you got picture or start video. There's actually the other remote that has a screen on the bottom, which I highly suggest you get. I actually have that for my other drones. They have buttons on the back that you can also toggle, and you can like press and then hold it and then do something else. But anyways, so top three dots in the top right, you have your safety controls, you have your max altitude, obviously under 400 feet. Max distance, it doesn't really matter what you put this at. I did 6,500 feet, which is what, a mile, a little over a mile. And your auto RTH altitude. The reason I did this higher is because, and this will kind of depend on where you are and what you're doing. But the reason I do this pretty high is because I wanted to go above the tree line or above anything, you know, if it has to auto return home. But I actually have it set to hover on an emergency, and I'll get to that in a second. You can update the home point. Here's your compass and IMU settings. I always check my battery info to make sure one of my cells isn't busted. This is a 2-cell battery. As you can see, there's 2 of them. This will also show you, oh look, it shows my face. That's fun. It'll show battery voltage, the temperature, and then the cycles to get an idea of how used or not this battery is. Advanced safety, here's the advanced safety setting I was talking about. So signal loss, this means when you lose signal, what do you want it to do? I'm guessing a lot of people, and I think it defaults to RTH, which is return to home, which in some cases you want that if you're maybe less experienced and you want it to come back, but there's also many scenarios where you wouldn't. You know, for instance, if I'm over a mountain or going down a mountain or something, and my RTH is set at 390 feet or whatever it is, and my trees, yeah, that's maybe how far I am above the ground, but my trees are way higher coming home. It's just going to run right into the mountain. So I would rather it hover, especially with the battery life on most of these drones now, where I can get closer to it and connect to it. And there's also some scenarios where you would pick descend, I guess. I mean, it gives you options, but my favorite one is hover, because if I'm losing connection, I need to get closer to it and drive to it or walk to it or whatever. Emergency propeller stop. This is, you wouldn't, I can't see a scenario where you would use this. Yeah, it says anytime use with caution or emergency only. But that's how you that's how you arm it. You know, turn it on, you pull them in or out to get it started. Payload mode, this is when you have the little bumpers on the side of it, and those are the advanced safety features. Most people, I'm guessing, don't click on that, especially for a drone like this. It's kind of beginner starter, small, lightweight, cheaper drone. Control, this is wherever you are. You get the front LED, whether it's breathing or solid or off or what color. Just, you know, an extra thing for you to see while it's in the air. Gain and expo tuning. This is kind of confusing for me. You can change it for each one, but this on a basic level is, I don't mess with these. It's how sensitive the sticks are. So like if you move a little bit this way, it only moves some, but then if you move farther, it moves proportionally way farther. That's I guess how I would describe it. Here's your gimbal mode. This is if you want it to tilt or not. So follow mode versus FPV mode. FPV mode is where it kind of tilts with, like you're flying through the air, like a bird. Allow gimbal rotation, that's up and down, and then you can calibrate the gimbal. Phone charging, that's if you want your phone to charge with this battery. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't, depending on if you're low on battery. That's also another negative with the controller that you have to use your phone with. You got to rely on another device that's charged and whatnot. You also can get notifications or phone calls or whatever that can interrupt your flying. Stick mode, most people are in mode 2. That's, you know, this is throttle up and down, and this is pitch it and roll. And then this is the custom button. I have this as resetter of the gimbal. So if I'm down, up or down, and I need to get quick up for any reason, that's what I do. You have a couple options here. Camera settings, autofocus, toggle your map view. That's what I have. Toggle map view live, which is that bottom left-hand corner for your map and your camera. You just double click it. You can calibrate your RC. Then you go to camera. And you go to camera. This is how, what you want your settings to, JPEG and RAW, or just a JPEG. This is RAW. For those that don't know, is more for, it gets more data in the image for you to edit it and mess with it. Aspect ratio, I just keep it on the standard 4:3. Auto flicker, grid lines, I like having a dot in the middle of my screen, which is what this is. You can also pick a, for like the 1/3, split your screen into thirds to kind of position stuff within the frame when you're taking a picture, as well as across. Auto white balance, auto sync, and no SD card. I don't even know what this is. Oh, it's deleted. Okay, that's what happens when your max capacity is reached. I never even mess with that. And then transmission, you want dual band so it can switch back and forth automatically. And then your about is your, just your firmware and your versions, and if you want to clear it all and check your updates. But those are my settings that I like to use. You can also switch here if you want to change it to JPEG, or you want to go into auto, where you can do change the settings for the camera from what it's taken. It doesn't have a lot of options because it's the lower end drone, but it's still great. I love to use this thing. Let me give you a little demo of flying it here. So we have normal sport mode, and then you arm it. It's very quiet, and I can still talk. It's out of frame here. Hold on. I'm gonna get it in frame. I'm not gonna be able to get it in frame. Put it in sport mode. And I'm still talking here at a normal volume. Here, it's not gonna like it. It's not gonna like me getting close to this table here. Yeah, it goes up automatically. Yeah, I'll just land it right here. But there she is. I love this little thing.